Welcome back students to Alchemy online class. In previous class, we started the textbook exercises of chapter number 11, force and pressure. Today we are going to discuss the other questions of the textbook. The question number 3, which was given in homework, was fill in the blanks. The first fill in the blank is, to draw water from the well, we have to dash the rope. The answer is pull. Second fill in the blank is, a charged body dash an uncharged body towards it. The answer is attracts. Third fill in the blank is, to move a loaded trolley, we have to dash it. Answer is either push or pull. Fourth fill in the blank is, a north pole of a magnet dash the north pole of the another magnet. The answer is repels. Question number 4 was also given as homework. The question is, an archer stretches her bow while taking aim at the target. She then releases the arrow which begins to move towards the target. Based on this information, fill up the gaps in the following statements using the following terms. Here the terms are given. Using the terms, we have to fill in the gaps. The first statement is, to stretch the bow, the archer applies a force that causes a change in its dash. The answer is shape. When the archer is applying force on the bow and stretching the bow, at the time the shape of the bow is changing. The second statement is, the force applied by the archer to stretch the bow is an example of dash force. The answer is muscular force. Here the archer is applying the force to stretch the bow. Here the muscles, the hand muscles are used to stretch the bow. The another statement is, the type of force responsible for a change in the state of motion of the arrow is an example of a dash force. From the clues, the correct answer is contact force. Here the force which is changing the state of motion of the arrow is the contact force, because here the contact of the muscles, the muscle of the hand and the bow is must. So here it is the example of contact force. The next and the last statement is, while the arrow moves towards its target, the forces acting on it are due to dash and that due to the dash of air. The correct answers are gravity and friction. When the bow is going to its target, at the time two forces are acting on it. One is the gravitational force and another is the frictional force which is caused by the air. Question number 10 was also given as homework. The question is, when we place the bulb of a dropper with its nozzle kept in water, air in the dropper is seen to escape in the form of bubbles. Once we release the pressure in the bulb, water gets filled in the dropper. The rise of water in the dropper is due to, the four options are given and the correct option is option D, atmospheric pressure. Here when the bulb of the dropper is pressed, at the time it creates low pressure, the air is escaping out and low pressure is created inside the dropper, and the atmospheric pressure is greater and it is forcing the water to move inside the dropper. Question number 5 is, in the following situations, identify the agent exerting the force and the object on which it acts. State the effect of the force in each case. First situation is, squeezing a piece of lemon between the fingers to extract its juice. Now here in this situation, the finger muscles are exerting the muscular force on the piece of lemon. The agent is the muscular force and the object is piece of lemon, and here the effect is the shape of the lemon piece changes. Second situation is, taking out paste from a toothpaste tube. Here if on the toothpaste tube, the muscular force by the hands applied. So here the agent is muscular force and the object is toothpaste tube and the effect is toothpaste tube shape changes. Third situation is, a load suspended from a spring while its other hand is on a hook fixed to a wall. In this situation, the agent is the suspended load, which is applying force on the spring. And so the object is spring and the effect is the spring gets stretched. And the fourth situation is an athlete making a high jump to clear the bar at a certain height. In this case, the athlete is applying the muscular force using his feet on the ground. So object is ground and the effect is the state of motion of the athlete changes. Question number 6 is a blacksmith hammers a hot piece of iron while making a tool. How does the force due to hammering affect the piece of iron? In this situation, or in this case, when the blacksmith is hammering a piece of iron, he is using his muscles, he is applying the muscular force on the piece of iron. When he is applying this force, the shape of the piece of iron is changing. Blacksmith is using this muscular force on the piece of iron to change it in the desired shape. Question number 7 is, an inflated balloon was pressed against the wall after it has been rubbed with a piece of synthetic cloth. It was found that the balloon stick to the wall. What force might be responsible for the attraction between the balloon and the wall? Here the answer is electrostatic force. When the balloon is rubbed with a piece of synthetic cloth, it develops a charge. And when it is brought near the wall is an uncharged body and there is a force of attraction between them, and this balloon gets attracted towards the wall and it is sticking to the wall. It is because of the charge developed on the balloon. So here this is happening because of the electrostatic force. Question number 8 is, name the forces acting on a plastic bucket containing water held above ground level in your hand. Discuss why the forces acting on the bucket do not bring a change in its state of motion. Here in this case, if you see, when you are holding the bucket, you are pulling it against the force of gravity. And when you are pulling it, you are using the muscular force. So your two forces are acting on the bucket. One is muscular force and other is force of gravity. These both the forces are equal in magnitude and they are in opposite direction. That's why the net force is 0. And because of this, it is not bringing any change in the state of motion of the bucket. Question number 9 is, a rocket has been fired upwards to launch a satellite in its orbit. Name the two forces acting on the rocket immediately after leaving the launching pad. When the rocket is fired and if it is leaving the launching pad, at that time the force of gravity is acting on it, which pulls it downwards towards the ground. And the another force is the force of friction, which is there due to the earth atmosphere. This force of friction is trying to oppose the motion of the rocket. This is the end of chapter number 11, force and pressure. We will meet once again in the next class. Till then, be safe, be at home and keep learning. Thank you.